Welcome to the world of programming in Scratch.
Chapter 3 Essential Outcomes. Students communicate, collaborate, create, and apply critical thinking skills through project-based learning by A. Constructing, computing, and designing objects in Google Drawings for web pages, empowering and challenging each other to create unique designs, C. Demonstrating knowledgeable game development using Scratch, D. Being responsible web designers and digital citizens, E. Sharing innovative designs via global networking, and F. Linking keywords to project application. What is Scratch? Scratch is a visual programming language and an online community. Users can create online projects using a simple block-like interface. To join or sign up for Scratch, open up Google Chrome and in the search bar type in Scratch. When the search engine does its search, it should pull up Scratch as the first link. To join Scratch, go to the top right-hand corner and click on Join Scratch. Please stop the video at this point and set up an account in Scratch. If you already have a Scratch account and you remember your username and password and you can get logged in, then just continue on with this video. Once you have created projects in Scratch, to find your projects, you first need to sign into Scratch. Then click on the drop-down arrow to the right of your name and then select My Stuff. And that section will give you a listing of all the projects you have created. Under My Stuff, you will see two types of projects: shared projects, which are shared with the online community and they can view them, or unshared projects, which means that they are not available for viewing on Scratch. You'll also have a listing of all your projects that you can access. Seeing inside a project. All right, so if we look at the image on the right, we can see that we have projects created. So to see or actually get to the code inside that project, we would click on that icon called See Inside. Now, one of the things I want you to note on this image is that notice that both of the Scratch projects are untitled. Make sure you always title your Scratch projects. Now that you know you need to name your project, how do you give your project a name? When you open up a new project in Scratch, if you look in the top left corner, you're going to see a section called Untitled. That is where you are going to give your Scratch a name. Make sure the name that you use explains what the project is. So looking at the example on the right, you're going to see that this project is called Hello World. And then underneath it, you can see that I have not shared this. It says unshared. So this project will not be available to anyone until I share it. Creating a project in Scratch. To create a project, a new project, make sure you are first signed in under your Scratch name. That will be on the right side of the screen. Then you can click on Create on the top left-hand side of the screen. Looking at the project wall. On the right side is where you do your programming. This is where we'll carry in all of our blocks. On the left side is the action area. This will show you how your Scratch character moves in your program. Looking at the programming wall, you're going to see that we have a lot of block codes inside. Notice on the left-hand side, we have the name of the game, which is the maze game. And then on the right side is all of the different codes that were used, block codes that were used to program this game. X variable. To read your screen when you're trying to get your character to move, you have the X and Y variable. The X variable runs horizontally across the bottom. The 0 is in the middle. And if you look at the bottom right, you're going to see X equals 0. The negative numbers run to the left, and the positive numbers run to the right. The Y variable is vertical. It runs up and down. The 0 is in the middle. And if you look on the right side, you're going to see the Y colon 0. Negative numbers run down or below the 0. Positive numbers run up or above the 0. Saving a project. Before you leave class, you want to make sure you save your project. That's a must. To do that, go to File and click on Save Now. Doubling up. After you have saved your project online, download the project to your flash drive. Having a backup copy will help you in case you cannot get online and have to use the Scratch software on the computer. If you fail to download your project each time and the internet is down, you will not receive extra time to complete your work. It is your responsibility to make sure you download your project to your flash drive each time you leave the classroom. In Scratch, honor and integrity is very important amongst Scratchers. Scratchers are people who are members of Scratch. You become a member after you do so many programming in Scratch, and then they invite you to become a member. If you view someone else's project or use a remix, you are expected to give credit in your project under the notes and credit sections for those who helped you. If you fail to do this, you violate the code of ethics in Scratch and may be blocked from using the software. So, how do you give credit? First of all, after sharing your project, you need to put in the instructions on how to use your game. Tell them what to do. If they have to click on something to start the game, or if they have to do something else to create movement, make sure you put that in under your instructions. Now, if you did borrow from someone's their work or did a remix, under the notes and credit section, you need to give them credit. Chapter 3A Quiz on Google Forms. Please take time to review the keywords and information presented in this PowerPoint. Once you have reviewed, please take your Chapter 3A quiz on Google Forms. Go to Google Classroom to access the link under Student Work. That's all, folks. It's now time to head back to the class website for further instructions.